All right, today we are tackling a huge topic. How do you build a trusted, authoritative online presence from absolute scratch? Not in years, but in just 90 days. Let's dive right in. So, does this feel familiar? You're putting yourself out there, you're trying your best, but in this digital world that is just getting louder and more crowded every single day, it can feel like you're just shouting into the void. You're struggling to be seen as a credible, trustworthy voice. But here's a thought. What if the problem isn't really a lack of experience? What if the real issue is that you just don't have a plan, a clear, structured way to build trust and actually be perceived as the go-to person in your field? And that is exactly where this method comes in. It reframes this entire challenge as an ambitious, but you know what? A totally achievable 90-day project. Think of it like a focused sprint to lay down the groundwork for all of your long-term success. So let's get really clear on what we mean by authority. Look, it's not just about what you know. It's not just competence. It's all about how your audience perceives you. Do they see you as reliable? Is your message coherent and easy to follow? And maybe most importantly, are you genuinely useful to them? That perception is the very thing we're going to build. So here it is, the roadmap for our 90-day sprint. And I want you to notice the flow here because it's really intentional. We start inward with the internal work of getting our own strategy straight. Then we move outward, creating things for the world to see. And finally, we amplify, turning all that hard work into recognized authority. Okay, let's kick things off with the first 30 days. Building your foundation. This is that crucial behind-the-scenes work that honestly makes everything else possible. It's all about creating the blueprint before you even think about starting to build. This first month is all about getting laser-focused, and you can see how each step here just builds right on top of the last one. You can't craft a powerful message until you know who you're talking to. And you can't really know who you're serving until you understand their most urgent problems. So for instance, if you're a financial advisor, your niche isn't everybody. Maybe it's millennials trying to save for their first home. Their problem isn't just money, it's feeling totally overwhelmed by financial jargon and the fear of making a huge mistake. Then and only then can you craft a message that actually connects. A great way to think about this whole phase is that you are literally pouring the concrete foundation for your digital house. And if this part isn't solid, if it's not stable and well-planned, well, everything you try to build on top of it is just going to crumble. Okay, so the foundation is poured. It is solid. Now in month 2, we get to start building. We're shifting from all that internal planning to external action. We're creating the content engine that will become the very walls of our digital house. Now, the key insight here is that your content has to have a job to do. It's not just about randomly sharing information. Think of these points as different jobs. One piece of content might be a teacher, explaining a really complex topic in a simple way. Another might be an inspirer, sharing a success story. But all of them, they're all working together toward that one crucial goal, positioning you as the guide your audience learns to know and trust. So in month 2, you've got 2 missions, and they work perfectly together. First, you're publishing all this valuable content to attract people. But then, and this part is so critical, you give them a reason to stick around by inviting them to join your email list. That's where a lead magnet comes in. Something simple and super valuable, like a checklist or a quick guide that you offer in exchange for their email. It's a classic 1-2 punch. Create public value, then capture that relationship privately. So if month 1 was pouring the foundation, month 2 is where you're building the walls. Every single valuable piece of content you create, every blog post, every video, it's another brick, carefully placed, making your entire structure stronger and way more visible. Okay, the foundation is solid, the walls are up. In our final 30-day phase, it's time to put the roof on and invite everybody to the housewarming. This is all about amplification, where we consolidate our growing presence and start to be seen as a true authority. And this is where the magic really starts to happen. You begin to invite people into your digital house by showing off social proof, like testimonials. You start collaborating with your peers to kind of borrow their authority. And you build a small ecosystem, like a free online group, where your community can actually gather and experience the value you provide firsthand. This right here is the key takeaway for this final month. True authority, the kind that lasts, isn't just solidified by your own words. It's solidified by the validation and the positive feedback from the people you serve. That's what turns a simple presence into real trust. Now that we've walked through the whole 90-day plan, let's just zoom out for a second and look at the core principles, the mindset that makes this entire system actually work for the long haul. I love this because it just brilliantly illustrates the most important concept of all, visibility. It isn't about getting lucky, it's not about some viral moment. It's the natural outcome of doing the right things strategically over and over and over again. So, how do you actually repeat those actions? The secret is choosing consistency over intensity. I mean, so many of us fall into that intensity trap, right? We go super hard for a week, we get completely burned out, and then we just stop. But real authority isn't built in one heroic sprint. It's built by laying one small, strategic brick every single day. That's how you build real, sustainable momentum. So when you put it all together, the philosophy here is actually pretty simple. It all starts from a place of genuine empathy and putting value first. From there, you commit to consistency, trusting that this is a skill you can learn. It's not magic. And above all, you choose action over perfection. Because, well, that's the only way anything ever gets started. And please, never forget this. All of this work, it's not just about communicating or posting things online. You are strategically building a valuable asset. Your authority is a multiplier that makes everything else you do in your business so much more effective. This whole 90-day journey, this entire house we've been talking about, it all starts with laying a single brick. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What is the one small strategic action you will take today to start building your authority? Thanks for watching.